Today, let's talk about a secret to creating the kind of relationship you truly want. If you're wondering how to draw someone back into your life, or if you're looking to deepen the connection with a partner, the answer might surprise you. It's not about changing them, waiting for them, or trying to control the situation. It's about changing the energy you radiate. The way to truly attract love and have it return to you is to cultivate a love within yourself that shines so brightly it becomes magnetic. Loving yourself first is not just a phrase or a fleeting notion, it's a way of living that transforms every aspect of your life. When you truly love yourself, you open the door to deeper connections, greater happiness, and a resilient inner peace that doesn't depend on outside circumstances. To love yourself means to honor who you are, to appreciate your unique qualities, and to treat yourself with the kindness and respect you would show to someone you deeply care about. It's a process of building a relationship with yourself that is nurturing, forgiving, and uplifting. This journey of self-love begins with how you think about yourself. Many of us grow up with beliefs that tell us we're not good enough, or that we need to constantly prove our worth to be accepted. We might have learned to seek validation from others, thinking that if we gain their approval, then we'll feel valuable. But external approval is fleeting, and tying your worth to it only sets you up for insecurity and doubt. Instead, self-love is about shifting that focus inward and affirming your worth without needing anyone else to validate it. You're already worthy, already enough, simply by being you. One of the most important ways to practice self-love is through the words you use when you speak to yourself. Imagine talking to yourself as you would a dear friend who's going through a tough time. Would you criticize them harshly or belittle their feelings? Of course not. Yet we often use language with ourselves that is harsh, judgmental, and unforgiving. Choosing compassionate and supportive language is essential in loving yourself. When you notice a self-critical thought, pause and reframe it. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up," try replacing it with, "I am learning," or "I am doing my best." This shift may seem small, but over time it can profoundly impact how you see yourself. Loving yourself also means honoring your needs and setting boundaries. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of others, putting their needs before our own, often out of fear of disappointing them or seeming selfish. But self-love teaches us that caring for ourselves is essential, not optional. When you say no to things that drain you, you're saying yes to your well-being. Boundaries aren't walls, they're pathways to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. People who genuinely respect you will understand your boundaries, and setting them actually allows you to be more present and available when you choose to engage. Another key aspect of self-love is forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes, and we all have moments where we fall short of our own expectations. Self-love reminds us that these moments don't define us, they're simply part of being human. When you forgive yourself, you let go of the burden of past regrets and open yourself to growth. Forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring mistakes or brushing them off. It means acknowledging them, learning from them, and then releasing them. Holding on to guilt only keeps you stuck, whereas forgiving yourself allows you to move forward with compassion. To love yourself first also means prioritizing your own joy and well-being. It's about making time for the things that bring you happiness and nourish your soul. This might mean setting aside time for a hobby you love, practicing mindfulness, spending time in nature, or simply resting when you need it. By doing things that make you feel alive and fulfilled, you're feeding your spirit and creating a life that reflects your unique desires and values. This joy radiates outward, affecting how you relate to others and the world around you. Loving yourself doesn't mean you'll never have moments of self-doubt or struggle. It means that when those moments come, you have a foundation of compassion and resilience to fall back on. You learn to see yourself as someone deserving of care, someone who is worth investing in. And as you build this strong, loving relationship with yourself, you'll find that your connections with others become healthier too. When you love yourself first, you're not seeking others to fill a void or give you a sense of purpose. Instead, you can approach relationships from a place of abundance, sharing love because you're already fulfilled within. In a world that often tells us to look outward for happiness, self-love is a radical, empowering choice. It's choosing to embrace your own worth, even when society might imply that you need to be something different or someone else to be valued. Self-love is a journey that evolves with time and patience, but every step you take toward honoring yourself opens up new possibilities for happiness and connection. You'll find that as you grow in self-love, you naturally attract people and experiences that resonate with your true self. Loving yourself first isn't selfish, it's the foundation for a life of joy, purpose, and deep, lasting relationships. When you treat yourself with love, you set the tone for how others will treat you, and you show the world that you value yourself. Embracing self-love transforms your inner and outer worlds alike. It gives you the courage to chase your dreams, the strength to face challenges, and the wisdom to walk away from anything that doesn't serve your well-being. To love yourself first is to step into your own power, knowing that you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. This self-love radiates outward, attracting all the good things that align with your highest self. And in this journey, remember the love you give yourself is a gift that keeps growing, enriching every part of your life. Radiating inner confidence is about exuding an energy that comes from deep self-assurance, the kind that doesn't depend on the opinions of others or fleeting external achievements. True confidence is built from within, and it has a profound impact on how you move through the world, how people perceive you, and most importantly, how you perceive yourself. It is the quiet, calm belief that you are capable, worthy, and resilient, regardless of circumstances. When you have inner confidence, you create a magnetic energy that draws people to you, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because genuine confidence is naturally attractive and empowering. To cultivate this confidence, start by accepting yourself as you are right now. Many people believe confidence will come once they've reached a certain goal, achieve something, or fix parts of themselves they perceive as flaws. But waiting for confidence to arrive that way keeps it out of reach. Confidence begins when you embrace who you are in this very moment, recognizing that you are a work in progress, and that's perfectly okay. Self-acceptance doesn't mean giving up on growth. It means you're not basing your self-worth on constantly changing or achieving. When you accept yourself, flaws and all, you set a foundation of inner peace that confidence naturally grows upon. Confidence is also about trusting your own judgment and being comfortable making decisions for yourself. Often we look to others for guidance and validation, which is natural, but relying solely on external opinions can create self-doubt. Radiating inner confidence requires building trust in yourself, in your ability to make choices that are right for you. Start by listening to your intuition, that inner voice that guides you. It's often quieter than the voices of others, but learning to recognize and trust it helps you make decisions that align with your true self. Every time you make a choice and stand by it, you're strengthening your inner confidence. You're affirming to yourself that your perspective matters and that you are capable of leading your own life. Another important part of radiating inner confidence is letting go of the need for perfection. Perfectionism is often mistaken for a sign of high standards, but in reality it's rooted in fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of not being good enough. Inner confidence allows you to embrace imperfection as a natural part of life. When you're confident, you understand that making mistakes doesn't define you, it's how you learn, grow, and ultimately succeed. Allowing yourself to be imperfect frees you from the pressure of constantly proving your worth. This doesn't mean you don't strive for excellence. It means you know that your worth isn't tied to any one outcome. You can work hard, be proud of your efforts, and still embrace the learning that comes from setbacks. Another key to building and radiating confidence is to focus on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Society often tells us to fix ourselves, to find every flaw and work on it. While self-improvement is valuable, constantly focusing on what you lack can diminish your self-confidence. Instead, recognize your unique talents, qualities, and accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. Everyone has strengths, but sometimes we overlook them because we're so focused on what we believe we're missing. Take time to acknowledge what you do well, and remember that these strengths contribute to the person you are. Celebrating your strengths reinforces your sense of self-worth, allowing your inner confidence to grow. To truly radiate confidence, it's also essential to release the fear of what others may think. It's easy to get caught up in worrying about others' opinions, but the truth is, no one else is living your life but you. People's opinions are shaped by their own experiences, insecurities, and preferences, which have little to do with you. When you focus on your own values, passions, and goals, you're less concerned with outside judgments. Confident people don't seek approval from others because they already approve of themselves. This doesn't mean being closed off to feedback, but it does mean being discerning about which opinions matter. By trusting in your own path and releasing the need for external validation, you give yourself the freedom to live authentically. Confidence is also bolstered by taking action. Sometimes the only way to truly believe in yourself is to step forward, even when you feel uncertain. Inner confidence doesn't mean you'll never have doubts. It means you trust yourself enough to take action anyway. Each step you take builds momentum, reinforcing your belief in your own abilities. Confidence grows through experience, through challenges that you choose to face, and through the moments when you push past fear and into the unknown. Every time you face a challenge and make it through, you're proving to yourself that you are capable and strong. Finally, inner confidence radiates outward when you are kind to yourself. Self-compassion is often overlooked as a source of confidence, but it's foundational. When you treat yourself with kindness, especially in moments of struggle or failure, you build resilience. You become your own support system, your own source of encouragement. Instead of being your harshest critic, become your greatest ally. This kind of self-support transforms your inner world and creates an unshakable confidence that no external setback can take away. Radiating inner confidence is about more than appearances or words. It's about embodying a deep, enduring belief in your own worth. When you embrace who you are, trust your path, celebrate your strengths, release the need for external approval, and take action in alignment with your values, you naturally exude confidence. People are drawn to this energy because it's real and grounded, a reflection of someone who knows their worth and respects themselves. This kind of confidence isn't flashy or boastful. It's a quiet, magnetic assurance that you are enough, exactly as you are. Avoiding the urge to chase or force connections is about recognizing the natural flow of relationships and honoring the organic way that genuine bonds form. When we let go of the need to make connections happen on our terms, we allow space for authentic relationships to develop in their own time, grounded in mutual respect and genuine interest. Chasing and forcing connections often stems from a fear of missing out or a sense of inadequacy, making us feel we need to pursue validation from others to feel whole or valued. However, when you shift from seeking external affirmation to fostering a sense of self-worth, you begin to attract the right people effortlessly, without the need for pressure or desperation. True connection is a natural alignment between individuals built on shared values, interests, and a mutual desire to be present in each other's lives. When we chase after connections, we're often trying to bridge gaps that might not align with who we are or with what we genuinely seek in a relationship. It's easy to become attached to the idea of a connection or relationship, particularly if it seems exciting or fills a void we feel within ourselves. Yet forcing connections or constantly trying to impress someone only creates a surface-level relationship that may feel exhausting to maintain. Authentic relationships, on the other hand, don't require constant effort to fit in or to gain approval. They evolve effortlessly, allowing each person to show up as their true self without pretense. There is a certain peace in letting connections unfold naturally, releasing the pressure of needing a specific outcome or label. By focusing on being present and building a fulfilling life of your own, you attract people who are drawn to your authentic energy. People sense when we're comfortable with ourselves, and that calm, assured presence is attractive because it signals security and confidence. When we're constantly chasing others, it often reflects an inner uncertainty, signaling that we might be looking for someone else to provide the sense of worth we're not yet giving to ourselves. By investing in self-love, pursuing your interests, and cultivating inner peace, you radiate a confident energy that naturally brings people who appreciate and respect you. One of the greatest truths in relationships is that people who are genuinely interested will show up willingly. You won't need to chase, convince, or constantly seek reassurance. When people want to be in your life, they make an effort, and their presence feels consistent and reassuring. Trying to force someone's attention or affection not only feels draining, but also often leads to feelings of rejection and self-doubt when the other person doesn't respond as hoped. Instead, trusting in the flow of relationships allows you to feel secure in the knowledge that those who are meant to be in your life will find their way to you naturally. To avoid chasing connections, it's essential to become comfortable with yourself and your own company. People often feel pressured to maintain a full social circle or be constantly surrounded by others as a measure of their worth. But when you develop a sense of contentment with solitude, you no longer feel a need to fill spaces with people who aren't a true match. Enjoying time alone doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means recognizing that your happiness doesn't depend on having others around you at all times. This self-reliance is liberating and gives you the freedom to choose connections that genuinely resonate with you rather than ones you feel obligated to maintain. It's also important to recognize that relationships ebb and flow. Sometimes people drift apart as they grow, change, or pursue different paths. Holding on too tightly or trying to force someone to stay in your life can create tension and resistance. Instead, allowing relationships the space to breathe and evolve naturally leads to a deeper understanding and respect. When you allow others the freedom to come and go, you signal that you value the natural rhythms of connection and you respect both your journey and theirs. Avoiding forced connections means embracing the art of patience. Strong, meaningful connections take time to develop. They aren't built overnight or under pressure. They grow with shared experiences, trust, and mutual understanding. Patience allows you to observe and appreciate each person's unique qualities without rushing into labels or expectations. With time, you gain a clearer sense of who aligns with your values and who brings joy and positivity into your life. This natural approach ensures that your relationships are grounded in authenticity, making them more resilient and fulfilling. Another aspect of avoiding forced connections is learning to let go. Sometimes the hardest part of building genuine relationships is releasing the ones that don't serve you. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care about the person. It means you recognize that a connection is no longer mutually fulfilling or beneficial. When you hold on to relationships out of habit, fear, or a sense of obligation, you're blocking space that could otherwise be filled by people who genuinely align with you. Releasing forced or one-sided connections opens the door to new opportunities for growth and brings a sense of liberation and peace. Finally, when you avoid forcing connections, you're also practicing a form of self-respect. You're affirming to yourself that you deserve relationships that are mutual, supportive, and affirming. You're no longer settling for half-hearted commitment or inconsistent attention. By valuing yourself and setting boundaries, you create a standard for how you wish to be treated, which in turn invites people who genuinely respect and value you to become a part of your life. This standard of self-respect is a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any words or efforts to impress. In the end, avoiding chasing or forcing connections is about honoring the natural flow of relationships. It's about trusting that the right people will enter your life when you are authentically yourself. It's a practice of patience, self-respect, and inner peace. By allowing connections to form naturally, you create space for relationships that uplift and inspire you, and you build a life filled with people who genuinely appreciate the real you. Trusting your inner energy is about recognizing and relying on that deep, intuitive part of yourself that knows what is best for you. It's an understanding that the wisdom and power you need are already within you, waiting to be acknowledged. This inner energy is like an internal compass, always pointing you in the right direction, even when the outside world seems chaotic or unclear. When you learn to trust this energy, you cultivate a sense of resilience and confidence that guides you through life's ups and downs. Instead of constantly seeking validation or direction from others, you start to listen to the quiet but steady voice within, which is attuned to your true needs and desires. To begin trusting your inner energy, it's essential to connect with yourself on a deeper level. This means carving out moments of stillness and reflection in a world that often demands constant action. When you give yourself space to pause and listen, you become more aware of your own thoughts, feelings, and intuitions. These moments of reflection are when your inner energy speaks the loudest, offering insights that might not be accessible during the busyness of daily life. Meditation, journaling, or simply sitting quietly with yourself are powerful ways to tune into this energy, helping you distinguish between the noise of the world and the truth that lies within you. A significant part of trusting your inner energy involves letting go of fear. Fear is often what holds us back from following our intuition and trusting ourselves fully. It's easy to second-guess your feelings or disregard your instincts when you're afraid of making the wrong choice, of judgment from others, or of stepping into the unknown. But the truth is, your inner energy always has your best interests at heart. It's not driven by fear, but by a desire to see you thrive and live authentically. When you choose to listen to this energy over your fears, you develop a new level of courage, stepping forward with the confidence that you are supported from within. Another key to trusting your inner energy is embracing self-compassion. Many people are harder on themselves than they would ever be on others, which can create an inner environment of doubt and criticism. To truly trust yourself, it's vital to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Acknowledge that you won't always have all the answers, and that's okay. Inner energy is not about knowing every step of the journey. It's about being open to guidance as it unfolds. When you release self-criticism, you create a nurturing space within that allows your energy to flourish. Self-compassion helps you see yourself as worthy and capable even when you face challenges, and it reinforces your trust in your own instincts. Trusting your inner energy also means paying attention to how you feel in certain situations and around certain people. Your energy often responds to your environment before your mind can make sense of it. For instance, if you feel drained or uneasy around someone, it's likely that your inner energy is signaling something important. Similarly, if you feel excited, calm, or uplifted, it's a sign that the situation aligns with your true self. Learning to interpret these feelings as messages from your inner energy helps you make choices that support your well-being. By honoring these intuitive responses, you align yourself with people and environments that are good for you and distance yourself from those that aren't. When you trust your inner energy, you also learn the art of patience. Inner energy is timeless, unconcerned with the rush and pressure of external timelines. It knows that everything unfolds as it should. While the mind may want immediate results or answers, inner energy works with the natural rhythms of life. Trusting it means allowing things to happen in their own time, without forcing or rushing. This patience brings a sense of peace as you begin to understand that there is a purpose to the timing of events in your life. When you let go of control and trust that things will unfold when they're meant to, you open yourself to opportunities and experiences that align perfectly with your needs. Another important aspect of trusting your inner energy is learning to release the need for constant validation. In a world where opinions and advice are readily available, it's easy to lose sight of your own voice. However, when you constantly seek approval from others, you're signaling to yourself that your own judgment isn't enough. Trusting your inner energy means believing that you are your best guide, and while external advice can be helpful, it should never override your own instincts. This doesn't mean shutting others out, it means prioritizing your own sense of what feels right. The more you practice relying on your own inner energy, the less you'll need external validation to feel secure. Living in alignment with your inner energy also requires a commitment to authenticity. When you're true to yourself, you're honoring the wisdom within. It's about making choices that reflect your values, interests, and aspirations, even if they don't align with the expectations of others. By being authentic, you reinforce your connection with your inner energy, affirming that you trust yourself enough to live on your own terms. This authenticity attracts people and opportunities that resonate with your true self, creating a life filled with meaning and fulfillment. Trusting your inner energy is not a destination but a lifelong journey. It's about continually deepening your connection with yourself and cultivating faith in your own wisdom. As you strengthen this trust, you'll notice a shift in how you experience life's challenges. You'll feel more grounded, resilient, and at peace, knowing that you have an unshakable source of guidance within. Life becomes less about seeking answers outside and more about navigating from a place of inner certainty and calm. When you trust your inner energy, you empower yourself to make choices that honor your well-being, growth, and happiness, creating a life that truly reflects who you are. Creating a life of joy and self-respect begins with a shift in perspective, where you understand that joy is not something external that needs to be pursued, but rather an internal state that you can cultivate. Similarly, self-respect is not contingent on others' approval, but comes from within, built upon a foundation of self-love and acknowledgement of your inherent worth. The key to unlocking both joy and self-respect lies in the ability to honor yourself, your values, and your desires, and to let go of any external pressures or expectations that diminish your sense of self. To create a life of joy, you must first recognize that it is a choice. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that joy comes only from achieving certain goals, gaining approval, or accumulating material possessions. While these things can bring temporary satisfaction, true and lasting joy arises from within. It comes from aligning with your authentic self and living in a way that reflects your values, passions, and purpose. Joy flows naturally when you let go of the need to impress others or chase after fleeting forms of happiness. Instead, you begin to cultivate joy by practicing gratitude, focusing on the present moment and finding contentment in simple pleasures. One of the most powerful tools for creating a life of joy is the practice of gratitude. When you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's already abundant in your life, you begin to see the world through a lens of possibility and appreciation. Gratitude opens your heart and mind, making it easier to experience joy even in challenging circumstances. By acknowledging the small blessings in everyday life, a beautiful sunrise, a meaningful conversation, a moment of peace, you begin to rewire your brain to see joy as an inherent part of your existence. This practice invites positivity into your life, making it easier to navigate difficulties with a sense of optimism and grace. Alongside gratitude, cultivating mindfulness is essential to creating a life of joy. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become consumed by worries about the future or regrets from the past. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, allows you to experience life as it unfolds without judgment or distraction. By grounding yourself in the here and now, you free yourself from the mental clutter that steals your joy. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply paying attention to your surroundings, mindfulness helps you reconnect with your inner peace and joy. It's about savoring life's moments rather than rushing through them, and finding beauty in the present. Creating a life of joy also requires setting boundaries and protecting your energy. When you fail to set clear boundaries, you invite stress, frustration, and resentment into your life. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. They communicate to others what is acceptable and what isn't, and they honor your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. By learning to say no when necessary and making space for activities and people that bring you joy, you ensure that you're not overcommitting yourself or draining your energy. Protecting your energy allows you to maintain the balance required for joy to thrive, preventing burnout and maintaining a sense of harmony in your life. Equally important is the practice of self-respect, which forms the foundation for creating a life of joy. Self-respect comes from understanding your own value and refusing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. It involves acknowledging your strengths and embracing your imperfections. Self-respect requires that you treat yourself with kindness and compassion, even in moments of struggle or failure. It's about holding yourself accountable while also being gentle with yourself. It means making choices that honor your integrity and taking actions that align with your core values rather than succumbing to external pressures or societal expectations. A key aspect of self-respect is learning to trust yourself. When you trust your instincts and decisions, you reinforce your belief in your own worth and abilities. Trusting yourself means not second-guessing every choice or looking for external validation, but instead having confidence in your judgment and your capacity to handle life's challenges. This trust grows with practice and experience as you begin to see the positive outcomes that come from listening to your inner voice. By trusting yourself, you create a life that feels more aligned with your authentic desires and aspirations. Another essential element of self-respect is forgiveness. Often we hold on to guilt or resentment, which can erode our sense of worth and peace. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is a powerful act of self-respect. It doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but it means releasing the hold that anger or regret has over you. Forgiving yourself allows you to move forward without being weighed down by past mistakes, while forgiving others frees you from the burden of bitterness. Forgiveness creates space for healing, growth, and the ability to live joyfully without the emotional baggage of unresolved pain. Creating a life of joy and self-respect also involves embracing your unique path. In a world where comparison is rampant, it's easy to feel inadequate or as if you're not measuring up. However, joy and self-respect flourish when you stop comparing yourself to others and focus on your own journey. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be and that your life unfolds according to your unique purpose. When you stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for guidance, you find peace in the knowledge that you are enough just as you are. Finally, creating a life of joy and self-respect is an ongoing process, not a destination. It requires continuous growth, reflection, and self-awareness. As you evolve, your understanding of joy and self-respect deepens, and you find new ways to nurture and protect these qualities. Each day is an opportunity to practice gratitude, set boundaries, honor your needs, and embrace the beauty of the present moment. By committing to this path, you create a life that is grounded in love, peace, and fulfillment, a life that reflects your truest self and brings you lasting joy. Letting love return naturally is about creating the space for love to flow freely into your life without forcing, chasing, or manipulating it. It involves embracing love in its purest, most authentic form, where it arises effortlessly and naturally, rather than seeking it out through external validation or expectations. This process is not about striving for perfection, but about nurturing your own heart, aligning with your true self, and trusting that love will find its way to you when the time is right. The key to letting love return naturally lies in understanding that love is abundant and does not need to be controlled or rushed. It simply needs to be allowed to grow in its own time and rhythm. The first step in letting love return naturally is to focus on self-love. Self-love is the foundation upon which all other forms of love are built. When you love yourself, you create a space within where love can flourish freely. Self-love involves recognizing your worth, accepting yourself as you are, and treating yourself with kindness and compassion. When you practice self-love, you stop looking outside of yourself for validation, and instead you draw love from within. This allows you to be whole and complete on your own, which in turn makes it easier for love to come to you, because you are no longer depending on others to fulfill you. You become a magnet for the love that aligns with your energy and your inner peace. Another important aspect of letting love return naturally is releasing the need to control or force relationships. Oftentimes we try to control how love manifests in our lives, whether through specific people, situations, or timelines. We may put pressure on ourselves or others to meet certain expectations or try to shape love into something it is not. But true love is never forced. It is a flow, a natural connection that deepens over time. When you let go of the need to control and simply allow things to unfold as they are meant to, you create the conditions for genuine love to return to you. Trusting the timing of love allows it to grow naturally, without interference from anxiety, fear, or pressure. Being patient is key in allowing love to return. We live in a society that often values instant gratification and quick results. However, love is not something that can be rushed. It develops and deepens over time, requiring space, understanding, and care. When you let go of the desire for immediate results and embrace patience, you give love the time it needs to grow and evolve naturally. This patience allows you to trust in the process, knowing that love will come when it's meant to. It helps you to release any feelings of desperation or urgency, allowing you to focus on nurturing your own happiness and well-being, while waiting for love to return in its own time. Trust is also a crucial element in letting love return naturally. When you trust yourself and the universe, you create an energy of openness and receptivity. Trust means believing that love is not something you have to chase or earn, but something that will come to you when the time is right. It involves letting go of the need to control how, when, or with whom love will appear in your life. Trusting in your own worth and in the natural flow of life allows you to relax into the process and stop trying to force outcomes. You begin to see that love is always around you, and when you trust in it, You become more tuned to the opportunities and connections that will bring love into your life. In addition to trust, vulnerability is an important component of letting love return naturally. Vulnerability is the courage to open your heart and allow yourself to be seen for who you truly are. Many people block love from returning because they are afraid of being hurt or rejected. However, true love can only enter when you are willing to let down your walls and show up authentically. This vulnerability allows others to connect with you on a deeper level, creating a foundation for love to flourish. By embracing vulnerability, you create the space for love to come in freely, without fear or hesitation. Another way to let love return naturally is by healing from past hurts and releasing emotional baggage. Many people carry unresolved pain, resentment, or fear from previous relationships, which can prevent new love from entering their lives. These past wounds create blocks that keep love from flowing freely. Healing means letting go of the past, forgiving yourself and others, and opening your heart to the possibility of new positive connections. When you heal from old emotional scars, you clear the space for love to return naturally, unhindered by past disappointments or fears. This healing process involves patience and self-compassion, acknowledging that it takes time to fully heal, but trusting that love will return once you are ready. Focusing on your personal growth and well-being is another way to allow love to return naturally. When you invest in yourself and work on becoming the best version of who you are, you raise your vibration and attract love that aligns with your energy. Personal growth can involve pursuing passions, developing new skills, and engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. The more you align with your true self and create a life that reflects your values and desires, the more love will naturally gravitate toward you. By focusing on becoming whole and happy as an individual, you draw in the kind of love that complements and enhances your life, rather than looking to someone else to complete you. Finally, letting love return naturally means practicing openness and acceptance. Sometimes love returns in unexpected forms or in ways that are different from what we imagined. It may not always show up exactly how we envisioned, but if we remain open and receptive to love in all its forms, we allow it to flow into our lives without resistance. By accepting love as it is, without trying to shape or mold it to fit our expectations, we create the space for love to return freely, naturally, and beautifully. Letting love return naturally is about releasing control, trusting the process, and allowing yourself to be open and vulnerable. It's about embracing self-love, healing from the past, and focusing on your own growth. When you create the right conditions within yourself, love will naturally find its way back to you in its purest and most beautiful form.